Yeah, those are pretty cool. It's the right type of hat as well, but damn security means you can't try them on. But yeah, they're pretty cool. As you can maybe tell, we've got some of our timings wrong, so we're back in Epcot, trying to burn about an hour. We're in the Japanese store. Try on a kimono, Jack. You don't want to do that? Very interesting, that Japanese store. I never fear. Actually, well, I lie. Way back in the late 90s, we bought something quite expensive from that Japanese store. A G-Shock watch. It was about the size of my wrist. It's completely crazy. I think I've still got it somewhere in a drawer. Don't know why we bought them. I think they were in fashion at the time. But anyway, of no interest to me now, but there is a legion of people who go to Comic-Con in the UK who would literally instantly orgasm in that store because they're fascinated with anything Japanese. Some sort of strange stage. Not really sure what it's for. I'm sure hundreds of people do, but I have no idea. So we've seen the donuts. They're about the size of someone's head, aren't they? Yeah. Iced donuts the size of your head. Jack has decided he's going to have a date with one of those donuts.
And a cookie.
And the cookie. Separate sessions of eating though. He's not totally insane. But I'm waiting to witness that.
Maybe on a day that we don't have a restaurant booking.
Yeah, which is quite a lot of them. So once we're out of the restaurant bookings, we have less fixed points in time, which means our schedule's a bit more flexible. So one of those days may involve. In fact, we could come here. I could have some food and wine stuff, and you could have a giant donut. Sounds about right. So we're back out. What was that steps total?
15,308.
15,308. It was only in the hundreds earlier, wasn't it?
Yep.
That's what entering Epcot does for you. 15,000 steps. Absolutely crazy. So my legs are feeling it, so we're going to have to start pacing ourselves at some point. Whew. But you will notice, the observant among you, is I have a backpack on. This was an experiment. So the backpack has worked out well in one sense. In this new small backpack, which I had on my previous video before I came out, works perfectly. I can literally wear it all day. It's got everything in I need. It's got the larger camera in, which is really light anyway, so that's not that big a test, but it works perfectly. The only problem is I can't use my Peak Design clip because it sets off the metal detectors, so that's a bit of a pain. So I think I'm going to resort back to the smaller bag or bagless. And I must admit, my big camera constantly loses out unless I've come in with the express purpose of using it. So the backpack won't be lasting past today. Are you sticking with your backpack? Jack's sticking with his backpack. He also has a smaller camera bag, which is Halloween Horror Night specific because of the, and also Universal specific because of the restrictions on the lockers. So for those interested in such things, and I know you are, that's a little bag strategy update. You're sweating in the hat.
Just feel it.
Yeah. You'll find before the holiday's over you get discoloured rim around the top of your hat due to the sweat. We are momentarily lost. It's all beautiful, but we are momentarily lost. Oh, there we go. Back on track. You wouldn't believe we had found beaches and cream once already. But we know it's by the pool, so we can't be going too wrong. Whoa. Very melting down. Excellent, thanks. Yeah. Our step count is increasing. It's Epcot that does it, I tell you, absolutely crazy. And we haven't even walked around World Showcase really yet, though we've sort of done 50%. So absolutely crazy. Don't know what the end total is going to be, can't even contemplate it. 30,000. I think it'll be more. If it's 16,000 already, you've got like 14 days to go, man.
Oh,
by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It could be that by the end of the day. What do you think, Jack? It's the root beer connoisseur, yeah? So how does it compare to the last one?
A lot sweeter.
Sweet, a lot. Do you prefer this one?
Yeah.
Where was the other one? Blaze Peak. So there you go. The root beer in Beaches and Cream is better than the fountain in Blaze Peak.
It's not worth reading anymore.
No, exactly. So we've seen the kitchen sink. 2 people have had it delivered. We've decided it needs 4 people, but people are pressuring me on social media to try it. But no. If I tried it, I think we both would not leave the restaurant. We'd die. So we're going to go for some normal desserts. We just couldn't do it. To all those people on Facebook, you failed! We've got 2 normal desserts. Though she did point out that those 2 desserts between us are only 2 scoops short of a kitchen sink, so it may still involve some pain, but we weren't persuaded. That's probably for the best. We are walking back into Epcot. I think the word we'd use for Beaches and Cream is we have survived Beaches and Cream. There was a person on social media who I can't remember. If you remember who you are and you're watching this, put it in the comments or whatever, who said, just have the dessert. You were right, just have the dessert. Because while the main meal was okay, it wasn't anything special you'd go there for. And it just made the dessert very difficult. We were getting a bit of good-natured pressure between ourselves and social media to have the kitchen sink. We didn't, that was wise. But as the hostess pointed out, it was absolutely fantastic. We really liked her. There's actually only 2 or 3 scoops short when you have a dessert each. So those were freaking massive as well. So yeah, you know, it's you know, it could cause an Elvis-like death eating the main meal and a dessert at Beaches and Cream. So just have the dessert. If you want any advice, that is it, just the dessert. So we're walking very slowly back into Epcot, see if we will still hold on and do the fast pass at Frozen. Then we'll see whether the plans for this evening change. But really like Beaches and Cream, but if I was ever to go again, I would just have the dessert. So when I see legions of, let's say, old people fast scootering along to their luxury resort of the Yacht and Beach Club, does it make me think of Wally? We're making our way around for Norway, or Frozen, but it has got a lot busier since we left. Plus we're walking at a slow speed to accommodate our Beaches and Cream extra weight. It might take us a while, but we will get there. So I have no idea what was going on in that impromptu stadium there, but apparently it involves famous people and it's quite popular. I have no idea, I'm sure someone knows the details, but I do not know. So we're now coming up on Norway and Frozen for the first time.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
So we've had a change of plans, so didn't go on Frozen, so we'll try and sort that out another day. We are heading back towards Future World. Just minute, World Showcase is pretty hectic at the minute. Which way? Yeah, World Showcase is pretty hectic at the minute, so never really understood the stories of drunk people in World Showcase, but I can see it in full force. Give them 3 or 4 hours and they'll be well and truly plastered later this evening. So, in order to keep things relaxed, we're heading into mouse gear. I always think I'll purchase something in here, but it never seems to happen. But you never know, this time might be the time. I'm thinking, you never know. Early days, it's only day 1. Was it day 2? Day 2, day 2. So the Chewbacca magic bands are everything.
I like this.
Which one's that one? Alright, the Boba Fett one. Yeah, that's not bad. I must admit, I'm a bit retro. I do quite like that Princess Leia one. Trouble is, if you're buying one of these magic bands, law says you have to do it as soon as possible so you can wear it for longer on the trip. We're just taking in what balls Jack's family has from previous trips. So we think this one.
Yeah.
And the
Football. Still have them?
So something similar to these have been merch for years. Literally years. R2D2 ball. You seriously going to get a model?
Probably, yeah. It's my dad's favourite ride, man.
Well, the monorail?
Yeah.
That's because he always had a hernia, so he needed a rest. Every time he talked about Disney World, he talked about which rides he was having a rest on. The other one was the People Mover.
Oh yeah, the People Mover. Yeah, I think the
Oh yeah, sorry. Let you through.
In fact, take a picture.
Alright, yeah. Give me a second, picture duties. So we've recovered. The merchandise tour has allowed our constitutions to recover. So Frozen is back on.
You shot the monorail.
So we're going into Frozen. It's exciting, if only because it's one of only 2 rides I've not seen, other than the odd video. So it's the first time. This is great.
On a day very much like today, our faith persisted in an unselfish act of true love and full first time in forever. I'm so glad you
So we're heading out of the World Showcase, also known, as I'm coming to appreciate, and people did tell me it happened during Food and Wine, as one massive beer garden. Yeah, it's interesting to see it in operation. So we've ridden Frozen, quite liked it. I can see why people either like the original or don't think it's a masterpiece of integrated theme, and I get that, but I like it. I like the way they do the new animatronics, so I'm looking forward to the Dwarf Mine Train, because it uses the same technology, which I'm not used to really seeing live and only a few feet away from me. I thought it looked pretty spectacular, but yeah, it's not a perfectly integrated themed ride, but I like it. Since I don't really remember what was there before, I can probably say I prefer it. So yeah, we're heading to the bus.
There it is.
So we're back at the hotel, or resort as they call it. We learned from our trip over the car park last night in the dark that we're to the right of the giant mobile phone. So now we have our directions sorted out coming back, plus we're sort of behind the big computer. So we have an expressway back now, so I'm gonna have a rest. I may go in the pool, bit of downtime, and then the evening slot.